magazine. Eastborough Parliament has resumed. Do you think the prorogation hurts the Conservatives at all, or have most people just forgotten about it in the frenzy of the Olympics?
That's true. The Parliament is back at work. That it was prorogued some weeks ago is history. People have already forgotten it. There is this afterglow of Olympics, and I think Prime Minister Stephen Harper's calculation that it will not make much of a difference in public opinion was perhaps very correct. Opposition have tried to make much of this in the past by trying to make it as if it is an abdication of duty on part of the government, but really the public is really not bothered about it. It is not the number of hours the MPs and the ministers and the Prime Minister, how many number of hours they spend in the Parliament, but it's the quality of the work that counts ultimately.
Now, coming to the throne speech that we heard earlier today, it promises more reforms to the immigration and refugee laws. Do you have any concerns or recommendations in that area?
The throne speech, 6,000 plus words of them, was basically a feel-good effort on part of the government, I think. It is basically an intent, the expression of government's intention as to what it plans to do in the weeks and months ahead. But in terms of immigration, I don't see much has been said. There's some mention of a national museum of immigration, so on and so forth, but I have not heard anything substantial.
Now, there's a lot of speculation that tomorrow's budget will include cuts to social spending, possibly in order to cut the $56 billion deficit. We already know that the salaries of MPs and the Prime Minister are being frozen. For most members of the South Asian community, what do you think is the bigger evil, a deficit or social cuts?
The cut to social funding, how far the cuts will go, how deep the cuts will go, they are important. At the same time, just cosmetic things like freezing the Prime Minister's salary or the MP's salary, or even putting a freeze on departmental spending on in terms of salaries. I don't think that is of a great significance. There are about 16,000 infrastructure projects right now being executed right across Canada, spending the economic stimulus cash. How that is going to be spent and how all that will percolate down to the common man, that is of greater significance. I have asked many people in the South Asian community what they would expect of this budget, and I think the leader of the opposition, Michael Dati, got it right. He said jobs, jobs, jobs. And I think that should be the theme. But I've heard some of the comments and some of the things mentioned in the throne speech, which will probably be reflected in the budget tomorrow, are that it's all about jobs, but when it is only the government's plan to do things. How all of that will percolate into action, it remains to be seen.
Ishwar, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Your opinions are, as always, much valued here by our viewers.
Thank you.